Hey everyone, thank you so much for joining today for our open demo, our Cognition360 open demo. We're happy to have you. Had quite a few people sign up today for the demo, so happy New Year, happy 2023. Excited to show you some reports today, let you know what Cognition360 is all about. I am Christy Perez. I am the Partner Success Manager here at Cognition360. And also have Adam Edwards on the call. Adam is in our support team and has been, I guess, in the MSP space for about 10 years, last couple of years being in a consulting role. So lots of experience with ConnectWise in general and just the MSP world. So happy to have you on here. Adam is going to be manning the chat window and also the Q&A window for us today. So you guys feel free to throw out questions that you have as we're going through the reports. We're going to do our best to answer as many of those live just as we're going through. And then also if there's too many, we'll save them for the end and save some time at the end to make sure that we get all of those answered for you as well. I do have a very special announcement, I guess. So our CEO, Aaron, let me know this morning, anybody on this call today, if you sign up today, so you would have to activate trial today, he is going to give you free onboarding. So we're trying to close out the first month of 2023 with a bang, and would love to give you that free onboarding as part of signing up for trial. With Cognition360, we do 21-day free trials, so it is risk-free for you to try Cognition360. And then at the end of the trial, you would pay an onboarding fee, a one-time fee, so you will not have to pay that. If you decide to move forward with us, you would have to activate trial today. Adam, if you could throw my email in the chat. Anybody that's on this call, if you're interested in signing up for that trial today, just send me a quick email. Pretty much the information that I need to know to get that trial started for you is just how many ConnectWise users do you have in your company today? So we are user-based, our pricing is user-based. Our first tier, just to give you an idea, up to 30 users is $349 a month. And then it's about $100 per 10 users after that, to give you an idea on pricing. So a little bit about how Cognition360 works. We are Power BI reporting. So we basically take your data and we ingest it into a data warehouse, and then it's published into your Power BI tenant. So to use the reports, you would need a Power BI Pro license, and everybody that's going to be using the reports would need that Power BI Pro license as well as us. So we would need a Power BI Pro license set up for Cognition360 as well to be able to publish those reports for you. We are a true analytical reporting solution. I think we're up to about 150 different CAN reports across all the different departments that you have in the organization. So we have reporting on, all the normal service reporting that you're looking for, sales, finance, projects, customer-facing reporting. We have a TBR report. I'm hoping to touch on as many of those as I can today to give you a really good idea of the types of reporting that we do have. If I don't touch on something that you're looking for in reporting, feel free to put that in your email as well to me, and I can get that answered for you. A little bit about our purpose. Basically, it's, are you running your business currently on muscle and fill? Do you know how profitable your clients are? Which clients do you need to focus on? Do you know when to hire? What does that capacity look like? How are you tracking that capacity currently to know, is it time for us to hire a new employee? And then also, do you have the reports you need? Kind of what I was talking about with that technology business review report. Do you have those reports ready for you to go and meet with your clients? Clicks away, the reports, it's super easy. One of the biggest benefits of Cognition360 is the ease of use to get your data in clicks of buttons. You can see where you need to focus, which agreements are profitable, which ones are not profitable, looking at it over a span of time to see that as well. And then where is your team spending their time? So if they are getting all their time in and they are fully utilized, where's that time going? How much of that time is client time, billable time versus admin time, meeting time, that kind of thing. We will have a poll towards the end, but at this point, I am going to start showing you guys some reports. So again, feel free, throw those questions in the chat. I'm going to just kind of keep moving along unless Adam stops me with some questions so I can show you as much as possible today. I am going to start with our team utilization report. So with team utilization, you have all of your technicians in here and it is broken out for you by teams. This is a Cognition360 field, so you can break these teams up however you want to be able to sort the data or get as granular as you want with your teams. So you can see here, I just have service team selected and then I just have a few folks selected from that service team. Here you can see this, if I'm looking at Chet, he has 176 hours available. This available hour is coming directly from your member capacity screen in ConnectWise. And then the next column, we have PTO. So we're going to look for any PTO charge codes that you have, vacation, sick, holiday. We're going to remove those out to say this is what their true staff available time is. And then out of that time, what did they put onto their timesheet? So I can see with Chet, he's about 122% utilized with 158 hours over that 128 hours. And then out of that 158 hours, 139 of those are realized. Realized for Cognition360 is client time. So I can see that over 100% of his time is actually going towards clients as well. And then 117 of those are billable. So what we mean there is there are a few entries between that 139 and that 117 that are marked as do not bill or no charge. And then he's billing for the last month. He is billing about 7.5 hours a day. So highly utilized, but also highly realized engineer. Lots of other columns in here. You can see what is invoiceable, meaning what's off of an agreement. So this is going to be your project time or your T&M time. You can also see how much of that time was agreement time versus no charge, non-business hour time. Also, lots, and this is with any of the reports, drill through capabilities are there for you as well. So if I click on Chet here, it will sort the data down here. So I can see that most of his time is going towards agreement, a little bit of T&M time in there as well. And then you also have the ability to right click and then drill directly down into Chet to see all of his time. My drill through is not working. There we go. So I'm going to look at all time entries here. And if I'm looking at all time entries, I can see you have your time, your ticket numbers, so you can drill directly into those. It will take you into your ConnectWise Manage. And then you also have, okay, what was the work types? What was the customer? Also, those ticket summaries and labor notes will be brought in for you as well. Great for time approval. If you're looking at time weekly, you can also see at the top here, everything broken out by category. So like if I just wanted to see charge code time, now I'm looking, I can see those payroll wraps, lunchtime, holiday as well. So that's how utilization works. We are looking to see that this column here is 100% green. We want to get all of their time captured, and that's going to be one of the most important pieces for you guys from a capacity standpoint. If all of your time is being recorded, that's going to let you know, okay, where is this time? How much of it is lost time? How much of it is meeting time? Lots of other ways to look at the data. You do have a compare dates. This is a way for you, like with this first one, it's a relative date filter. See this show me last week, last month, last 6 months, where the dates is going to be the same report. It's just basically a between date filter. So you could actually say, show me a week ago, 6 months back, if you wanted to. Compare periods, a lot of the reports are going to have this compare period feature. It is a way for you to see period over period. This is period A versus period B. I've seen this used like, what did we look like pre-COVID? Or what did, I got a new client, or I got a new employee. At first, he should be 100% utilized with your training charge codes realized really low. And then 3 months in, is he getting up to where the rest of the team is? Other things in here, you've got non-business hours reporting, hourly labor reporting, so you can actually see when is the work being done across the team. So you can see their hours by the individual hours, how much of that time is being completed. And then here you've got the percentages. You can click on just a Monday or just on a particular employee and see just their time as well. So that's utilization. And next, after utilization, I like to go into efficiency. So we get all of our time recorded. Now, how efficient are our engineers being? With this report, this is going to be tickets that are worked on. So any ticket that they have worked on. So it's not necessarily closed tickets. So it's going to be in our KPI reporting. This is going to show how many tickets on average, looking at last 6 months data. I can see that Lachelle's working about 12 and a half tickets per day. Here's her total ticket numbers. And then we're going to take it all the way down to let you see on average how many minutes per ticket is it taking her to work the tickets that she is working on. Other information that you can find in this report, if you're using configs, how many of these tickets had a config attached? And then also, does it have a valid type, subtype, or item? Of course, with this being sample data, this type, subtype, and item information looks wonderful. Usually when I see numbers this high, it's probably because they are set at mandatory, but it is something that as I was onboarding you, I would look at this to see if it might be a priority that we can put into play. Some of our type, subtype, and item reporting, which we call our common issue reporting, which I'm going to get to later in the demo, is some of my favorite reporting to let you see, what type of tickets are you working on as a company for each particular company, and also how much are they costing you? So we can actually take it down to that resource cost for you as well. This time to first time entry, great KPI, a little different than your SLAs in ConnectWise. What this is when a ticket is logged, how long before these tickets are being worked. So if it's your true tier 1 team or that first line of response, you want to see how quickly are they getting to tickets and working tickets. This would be a great KPI for you to watch. Great one to watch also for CSAT. If your CSAT starts dropping, it might be because that time to first time entry is going up. Also a great one to watch for capacity. If you have a team and that number is increasing, it could be that it's taking them longer to get to tickets, which means you might need to look into hiring. Again, you do have drill through. If I click on Lachelle, it will show me just her daily metrics down here at the bottom. And then you do have that drill through to go into all the tickets as well. Usually when I go into this one, I like to go over to this end and then kind of look at this time to first time entry. A lot of times when I see these numbers way up here at the top, it could be that it was a scheduled out ticket, and that's why it's got that longer time to first time entry. Sometimes that can be filtered out with your type, subtype, and item or type of ticket. Also, I can see that filtered out with board. So one of the things with Power BI is you have tons of filters. So you can see with this one, I already have this just on network operations board. So you are able to filter and look at it, board specific as well. So that is our efficiency reporting. Next, I'm going to go into our ticket KPI reporting. So ticket KPI reporting, this is our closed ticket reporting. You're going to get a lot of different metrics that you hear about a lot in the MSP space: close first contact, single tech, reopen tickets, first contact resolution. The difference between close first contact and first contact resolution: close first contact is going to be 0 or 1-time entry, so it's going to include those alerts with no time on them, and then your first contact is truly just 1-time entry. We do exclude out tickets that are 3 minutes or less, so that way it's a communication or an email. The engineer will not get dinged for that. Reopen tickets for us, basically it's gone through the closure process more than once, and then it has labor recorded after the initial close. And that is based on those resolved statuses. So if an engineer puts something in resolved and then it goes back into an in progress status, it would be counted as a reopen ticket. Across here, you can see how many tickets they closed over a period of time, what their average labor minutes are. Here's that first contact resolution percentage, single tech. How many of those tickets are they working on their own before they have to be escalated? And then here you have that reopen. Also being brought in is a lot of that SLA data for you, so you can see your average respond, plan, resolve, resolution time as well. With KPI reporting, you can see we're just looking at the technician page. You can actually look at these KPIs by customer, by board, type, subtype, and item, or even by priority. So if you're using priority, you can take it even down to that priority level and see if, for instance, if it's a priority 1 ticket, what is my average time to first time entry on those priority 1 tickets? One of the things that I like with this report from a priority standpoint, especially from an account manager standpoint, is coming in here and then filtering by my customer. And so now I'm looking at my customer, one customer by priority, and let's say I met with them 3 months ago, just change that to 3, and now I'm looking at all of those tickets for the last 3 months for one particular client. A lot of times I'll tell an account manager, hey, go in and look at those reopen tickets that they had. A lot of times those reopen tickets might be some of the key areas of importance that you want to make sure you know what's going on before you go meet with that client. Did we have any questions that came through yet, Adam?
Nope. You mentioned onboarding. Just wanted to ask about the provisioning process that happens after onboarding.
Yeah, so with provisioning, so when you first sign up, when you sign up for that trial, so like if you take advantage of trial today, I'll send you over an email that shows our provisioning steps. The provisioning piece will take you about 30 minutes to an hour of your time to get the provisioning piece that we need completed. And then the whole process on our end will take about 5 to 7 business days. And during that time, we'll get the reports, you know, all the magic happens. We get everything into the data warehouse, published into your Power BI. And then after provisioning is done, we would set up your first onboarding session. So your trial would not actually start until your first onboarding session to make sure that you have a full 21 days to look at the reports. And then either Adam or I would walk you through the onboarding and basically walk you through and show you how to use those reports.
Sounds good.
Yeah. So common issues. Common issue reporting. This is our type, subtype, and item reporting. This was that report I was telling you about. This is going to give you all of your tickets by type, subtype, and item. So awesome report. You can use this. Like if you have your subtypes built out really well, you could even take this down. Like this is looking at just one particular board. And let's say I want to hire for, my help desk. I could then take this out into focus mode. And then here's your skill set level for hiring. So it's like, these are important, but I've got people to do them. I need to make sure whoever I bring in that they can handle these types of tickets to be able to help my team out. Or if you're hiring for a particular company, if you need an on-site resource or a main resource, same thing. You can look and see what type of tickets do they have coming in, or look at it all the way down to the item level. The other thing you can do with here is you can see I've got this one client selected. I can now see their ticket volumes and their labor volumes down at the bottom, and then also what the cost is of each of these. With this one, this is a report where I'm like, especially if you've had, let's say you had an agreement that, tanked in profitability last month. And I want to know what happened. Why did this tank? This report is a great report to come into and look at it for that particular month to see, okay, what types of tickets did we have that caused this to increase for that particular month? So lots of good things that you can do with this report. You can also take it down to the total ticket cost, so you can get your average ticket cost per client. And then you can also look at it and see it from a common issue. What is my average ticket cost per common issue? Which issues are causing us the most heartache or issues, and also costing us the most money. This search ticket subject page, it actually doesn't work for demo, but it's pretty cool. You can actually type in any word that you want here. So like if I typed in printer, I would be able to see all tickets that have printer in that subject, and where are those printer issues coming from. A lot of times when I do that, it's usually like healthcare companies or schools or something like that. Anybody that's got heavy printing issues. But I point out printing because I do see printing issues tanking profitability a lot. $2,500 agreement with a 14-hour printer ticket on it. So that is our common issue reporting. Next is agreement profitability. So this one is always super important. We actually have some clients that sign up with us just for this report. This report is going to let you see all of your agreements by type and then also by client. So if I'm looking at this first summary page, this is the one I say, hey, this is the page to use just to get a quick overview of how are my agreements doing. So here I can see my managed services agreements over the last 12 months. This is what I billed. This is my overall margin, overall effective rate, contribution rate. If you click on this, it will give you that trend data over there for that particular type of agreement as well. You also have your drill down, so you can see it by client, and you can see how these clients are trending really quickly. And then down here at the bottom, see those labor hours as well. So here you can see for this client, March, really high. And then of course, over here had a lower profitability. From here, you can actually drill through and go all the way down into your additions or into your ticket and labor. And then it's going to show you all of your ticket and labor and your tickets for any particular client, so you can really see. And then down here at the bottom, your subtype and item as well. Here I can see a 38-hour ticket. If I click on that ticket, I can see when did that ticket happen, who worked on it, and then if you have that good subtype and item data, I can see this was some sort of server issue. You still have your ticket IDs to go back into as well. The next page I like to look at is agreement details. This is the one I say look at monthly. So if I'm looking at this, and for this purpose, let's just look at managed services. So here, the way this works is you've got your total bill. So this is what I billed them for the month. Here's my additions costs. And then here is the labor that I put onto that agreement. So 38 hours, and then your labor costs coming in at $41.72. This labor cost, where this comes from, is we're going to use the fully burdened rates or the costs that you have set up on the member screen in ConnectWise for each individual technician. So it's the true labor costs that you have set up for them. I do recommend it being fully burdened with that extra percentage in there for benefits and taxes. If you do not have this in currently, it is not a showstopper. With this report, we actually, if someone doesn't have a rate, we give them a rate of $60 an hour, just to give you some sort of visual as to how you're doing. The other thing, which is cool with Cognition360, with it being Power BI reporting, is we can actually, if you go in there and update those, or let's say you forgot a couple of people because of new hires or somebody's had a raise and you forgot to put it in, you can actually give us those changes, and then we can take them back historically in the reporting for you. So that way you're still getting that true profitability going backwards. Another cool thing about our reports is you can take these back as far as you need to. So if you're wanting to see agreement profitability stats from 2 years ago, you can see that. We're going to be able to bring that data in for you to see those true historical trend lines. How did you do on this agreement last year versus this year, that kind of thing. Again, you can see here, you've got detailed dates, same report. It's just this one will let you go down to a specific date where this one is that relative date for yourself. If I was looking at this report, one of the first things I'm going to do is look for anything in the pinks. So those are my margins below 40%. And then I would want to drill into those to see what's going on. So for instance, if I was looking at car checks, I would say, okay, their hours went over their target hour. So the target hour is a very long calculated formula that we put into this report information page for you. We're using a desired margin of 50 and an average labor rate of 60. These are hard coded in the beginning, but once we work with you, we can change that. If you have a higher desired margin, we could put that in there, or maybe if your labor rate was more closer to 55, we could add that in. Another thing about this report information page, it's like a little glossary for you. So if you're ever looking at something and you're like, how are they calculating that, or what does it mean? I always tell people, hey, go here and look first. So with this one, you can see desired labor hours coming in at 38, our target hour at 29. One of the reasons I think this target hour is important is because we give you a target threshold report. So instead of having to look at every single agreement, you're only going to have to look at these that are hitting target. One of the things with agreements is, once the month is over, it's too late. This gives you a way to kind of watch this week over week to give you a place to focus. Like, hey, this person is hitting their target, they're over target. We need to go in there and put some focus on this agreement before the month is over. You can actually add this stuff to a dashboard, put it in a dashboard, and actually email it to yourself every single week as well. The other thing that you can do is drill in. So let's say maybe I thought those additions were high. You could drill in, look at the additions on that agreement. What is making up that amount? Okay, does it look right? Do I have everything in here correctly? One of the things I'm always going to look for when I first look at your agreements is it truly just tool cost in here or hard cost in your additions? We want to make sure that there's no labor costs that has accidentally come through from an opportunity or a quote, that it was set up to not have labor in that cost, or what I would call faux labor, because it basically is going to double count it, because we're going to give you true labor costs right here. The other thing I would do if I see a low one is I would drill down into that ticket and labor and look at it for the month to see, okay, what happened with this agreement. So up here at the top, you can see these higher tickets, and then you could drill into these, look at them, see what's going on. This would be a good example of not great data, not very good subtype and item there. Another cool feature with this one is this margin review. This is a way for you to see all of your agreements from a margin standpoint over the last year. So with managed services, if you have a dip for 1 month, it's okay. What we're looking for, and of course this is sample data, so everybody looks great. But I'm looking for these peaks, and I'm looking for stuff that's staying in the peak or coming in and out of a peak. Let me see what my overall average is. How is this affecting that average? Where do I need to put my focus or have my account managers come in here and focus? All of this data can be filtered however you want. You can say, show me my lower averages up here at the top. And now I'm looking at those that I would need to focus on. So here you can see where these have stayed in the pink. These are kind of coming in and out of the pink. So I'd want to go in there and kind of give a focus to those. You can also export any of this data out of here that you need to. So you can just hit the export button here and then hit export and then take this out to any exported format that you want. So all the reports are able to be exported out if you need to remove, pull it into an Excel file and manipulate it or look at it in more detail. Effective rate reporting is also in here. So if that's something of interest to you to see my top and bottom effective rate clients, that's going to be in here for you as well. So if you wanted everything above, say, an effective rate of 150, this is going to let you see where you need to focus. Great account management report right here. So that is a little bit on agreement profitability. If you're using projects, we do have project reporting as well. This is our project details page. The way this works is we're going to bring in all of your projects by name, account manager, lots of information in this report. You can select your statuses. So you can see I just have statuses that are currently in progress or basically not closed out. You can also do this by project type. So if I wanted to see just my onboarding projects, what's going on there. Here you can see your budgeted hours. So that is one thing. If you're using projects, get those budgets in there. And then here, this is how many actual hours have gone on to this project. And then I can see that this one is just now going beyond that budget. So I would want to drill into this and see, okay, what's going on? How much of it's left? Lots of other information in here. You can see billable hours, non-billable. Also, you've got the scheduled start and end. This is coming off the front screen of the project, the main project page for that estimated start and end. So I do recommend making sure that that estimated end date gets updated. It will turn red if it goes past that date. And the reason I recommend updating these is because it gives you a better view as to, hey, what's getting close to closing. And we do have Gantt charts in here for that. So you can actually see over any particular period of time, what projects do I have that are active or inactive at any particular time. The other thing that you can do with this project details page is you can drill in. So like if I wanted to see what was going on with this client, I could drill into the phases. And now I'm looking at every phase for this project. I can also see that they're all closed, which is good since we're right at budget. Maybe it's in more of a review status. If you see one of these phases, this is a very good example of the phases are even budgeted out. You can also see any of these that have gone over. So like for here, I can see we've got 20 hours extra in planning. And now I can see those tickets for that planning. If I want to, I can also drill all the way down into my labor and see all the labor notes that went into that particular phase. And your labor notes will show up here for you. The ticket number and URL is there. So if you do need to go back into ConnectWise, you do have that availability for you as well. Weekly dashboard, this is basically just a condensed version of that first one. This is the one I recommend using from a like a weekly project meeting, and then you can just quickly flow through your project managers. Like Irish, let's look at your projects. All right, Raymond, let's look at yours. And so you can quickly go through and see if there's anything you need to focus on while you're in there. You can also just say, show me everything that's just on budget or off budget, on track or off track. In here, we don't have any scheduled hours for demo, but if you are scheduling out your projects, those scheduled hours will pop in here. And we also have resource availability and also scheduled resource to see like what is somebody's availability based on their scheduled out time. So that's a little bit on projects for you. We also have sales reporting. In our sales reports, we have an opportunity dashboard. We also have a sales dashboard. The difference really between these two, it's just how you want to look at the data. Opportunity dashboard is going to be based on opportunity create date, where your sales dashboard is going to be based on sales close date. Product sold reporting is also in here. You also have pipeline reporting as well. If I'm looking at the opportunity dashboard, you can look at this and see, okay, what was my one revenue for a particular salesperson over a particular period of time? So once you're in here, this first summary page will just show you all your different opportunities. If I go to my one revenue page, you could select just by sales rep, click on sales rep, it's just going to show their information, or you could just sort by sales rep here, or you could say, show me all opportunities created within a particular time period. And then down here, you have those particular opportunities listed. You do have the opportunity to go back into as well. And then here you've got your non-recurring revenue, recurring. This is going to show from a lifetime standpoint. And then also over here, you can see your recurring from a monthly standpoint as well. And then you've got your margin, annual, recurring, lots of information in here. We do custom commission reports. Most of our reports are for commissions are custom, which lets me talk on custom reporting a little bit. Always ask for what you want. If you sign up with us and you can't find a report you're looking for, you don't see it, ask for it. If it's a report we haven't created yet and it can add to our reports, there's no cost to you to develop that report. If it is custom, which is you're having to bring in a ton of custom fields, for instance, or it's custom just to how you're using your ConnectWise. Commission reporting would be a great example of custom. Everybody's doing their commissions a little bit different. What we would do is meet with you, scope that out, say it's going to take about 15 hours to scope this or to create this, and we charge $185 an hour to create those custom reports for you. That's kind of a little bit on how that works.
Christy, got a question in the chat here.
Yeah.
Peter's asking, how many reports do clients typically use, or do most folks get the full meal deal? I think he's assuming that the workspaces are piecemeal.
Gotcha. So when you sign up, you actually get access to all of the reports. You don't have to pay per workspace. Everything is available to you. It is a little overwhelming at first because there are so many reports, and that's where we would work with you to say, here's our top core reports. There's a great get started area as well from an educational standpoint to watch webinars on how to use the reports. But you get them all. And with drill throughs and everything else, it's probably even over that 150 report number that I said in the beginning. So with whatever your subscription level is, that it doesn't matter if you've got 10 people or 300 people, which we've got all sizes using the reports, you get everything that is available. If that didn't answer it for you, feel free to throw that question back out. And we've had a few others join since I first started talking. So I did want to make sure and mention again that we do have a kind of flash special today. We've never done this. So our CEO, with today being the 31st, said, hey, anybody that signs up today for a trial, and remember it's risk-free, for 21 days, he is giving free onboarding. So Adam has put my email in the chat. If you're interested in taking advantage of that free onboarding special, just send me an email with the number of ConnectWise users that you have, and I will get a quote over to you to execute today. And like I said, it doesn't, even if you can't get onboarded until mid-February, no problem. It'll take us at least that long, probably, to get your provisioning and everything handled. So it's not like you sign up today and your 21 days starts. It will start on onboarding 1. So if that needs to be pushed out a few weeks, that's perfectly okay. Main thing
Christy,
is you have to sign today. Yeah.
Just another question. So since we have 170 reports, how would I know which reports to look at and how often?
So we do have in our Get Started, we have a core reports section that'll basically is role specific. You can look at it and say, show me everything for an account manager, for instance. Actually, I think, oh, I don't have it in here in this demo today. I was going to show you that Get Started page. So you can actually see, like, show me everything for a project manager. And then it's going to list out, here's all the projects reports that we have for project manager, what we recommend. And then also there is a column for frequency. So we would say, look at these reports on a daily, weekly, monthly basis. Depending on your size, like, organizations that are about 50 users or so, it's probably going to be at least 2 or 3 onboarding sessions with us to get you up to speed over that first month and a half. And then from there, as your partner success manager, it's my job to make sure you're using the reports. So I would set up little review sessions and check-ins with you. And then of course you can email me anytime. So usually what I say is if you're looking for a particular metric and you can't find it, just send me an email and tell me what you're looking for. And I can point you in the right direction of where to find that report. Hopefully that answered that question. I want to now go into some benchmarking. So we do benchmark you against other MSPs as well on a few different reports. The one I'm showing you now is time entry quality. We also have one on ticket quality. So for time entry quality, we're looking at timeliness, how quickly are those going in real time, and then also utilization. How much of that true 100% utilization are you getting in? Best in class is 90%. And then you could sort this down all the way down to the technician level to see how they are doing, to give like some one-on-one improvement information, or even by the team. The score is going to be based on the lower of these two. So you could have high utilization, but lower timeliness, and you will get dinged for that, and it will be that lower score. So if you go to your quality, it's going to break it out here for you. So for the sample data, everybody's doing good from a real-time time entry and also recording their hours. We are going to score every single time entry that someone puts in and give it a score. So if you see someone with a lower score, not that 89 is bad, you can actually drill through into their timeliness. And we're going to show every single one of their tickets for any time period that you have selected here. If you click on those with like a 40% score, it's going to let me see, like here, you can see labor was from the 2nd of June and not put until the 3rd. So that's why they got dinged on that. And then here you've got that score explanation. Not really so much in this data, but usually when I'm looking at client data and I see some of these lower scores, usually I also see rounded time over here. So if they're waiting a day, 2 days to get their time in, I usually see rounded time going in because they're basically guessing at that point, which, you know, lots of things wrong with not getting your time in on time. But this will point that out to you, like who are those offenders that we need to kind of work on to get that true real-time time in. So that's a little bit on benchmarking. And then lastly, I want to show you our technology business review. So this is what we would, from an account management standpoint, we worked with 2 or 3 different MSPs to get this built out. And you've got all of these different pages, so you can see ticket and labor. You can take it down to service dashboard. You can see who's submitting tickets, what types of tickets are they submitting. You can actually click on a person and see what types of tickets, or let's say this person's not even supposed to be submitting tickets. What are they submitting? So you can actually drill down into that data, look at that. Service levels, this is going to let you see tickets by priority. This client only has priority 4 tickets, but if they did have multiple priority tickets, it's going to give you that information. Also, your response, remediation, and resolve information is going to be in here for you as well. CSAT, if you're using a CSAT tool, we do work with a lot of the CSAT tools out there. As long as that information is going back into ConnectWise, we're going to be able to support our report in the CSAT section for you for your CSAT. You can see these. If any of you are familiar with Smileback, that's kind of where those came from. We work with a lot of customers that use Smileback, so that's probably why that one was made that way. Computer information also is going to be brought in. Ticket KPI information, single tech, first contact resolution, ticket load. This one's kind of cool. It lets you see when are they logging tickets the most. So if you have a large client and you have a main resource on that client, okay, Friday mornings, this is when they need to take their doctor's appointments or take off if they need something, because this is when they're logging the least amount of tickets. Or you could say, show me all of my clients, and now I can see how are most of my clients, and then you can actually see it by the hour and the day of the week as well. So in general, Friday mornings overall for the sample data is the lower ticket amount coming in. So it's going to be the slower time for them. Agreement information is also being brought in. It basically lets you see what type of agreement someone has, and then the additions over here. Projects, basically with projects, it's going to be what are the open projects that they have or closed over a particular time period. And as an account manager, just good to know You know, hey, if they've got active projects, what's going on, or I need to go talk to that project manager before I meet with them. Recommendations, another word for sales, just a nicer word to say, here's open opportunities, open quotes that you have out there that we need to discuss, and then here's anything that's closed. Procurement, this is going to bring anything that they've purchased. This is the only page that brings in anything on price. So this was kind of developed to be more relationship driven. And of course, they know what they paid for stuff. So that's why this would be in here that way. And then also device information is brought in. So the device information that you have in will also be in here for the TBR. You can take this and pull it into like a PowerPoint, take out the pages or use the pages that you want as just an addition. If you already have kind of a QBR or TBR built out, you can add this to it. You can also use this as a template, and then you can make changes. So if you don't call it Technology Business Review, call it something else, you could make a copy of our report, change some of the stuff out or take out pages, that kind of thing. So that is a little bit on our TBR. I know that Sue wanted me to do a poll. So as we're waiting on any other questions, I'm going to launch a poll. If you guys do not mind answering those questions real quick, if you, one of them's just, if you want to go ahead and start a trial, let us know. If you want to start that trial today, email me so I can make sure you get credit for that free onboarding. And do we have any other questions that have come in?
Yeah. Is it possible to use Cognition360 for dashboards similar to Breakage, like a big screen in the office?
You can. So with Power BI has its own kind of separate dashboarding. It's like icing on the cake, I feel like, for Power BI. So you can actually take visuals from any area, and you just hit this pin visual right here, and then you add it to a dashboard. So in your service metrics, you could say, I want to have you know, a weekly dashboard made with these KPIs on it, and then you could have those, you know, displayed around the office. So it does have that same ability. Of course, BrightGauge is a true dashboarding tool. That's what it's used for. So the visuals of BrightGauge might look a little different. This is going to be Power BI visuals that you have in there, but it does have that capability to create those dashboards for yourself, where you can just put those individual metrics into a page that you want.
But not for real-time data.
Great question. I did not touch on that yet. So with these reports, everything that we've looked at today, they are basically, I'm going to quit sharing here and in this poll. Everything's going to be a day back in data in the analytics reporting. So we're looking for changes all day long of your data. We do a full update overnight, and it's ready for you the next morning. We have a product called Cognition Live. So this is great. Let me talk about this. And it is an add-on to Cognition Analytics Reporting. It is a $99 add-on to get live, and that is your real-time reporting. So it's not across all of the reports. It's more or less those main important ones that you would need real-time. A lot of your service reporting, active tickets, who's working what, what has been resolved. We actually have real-time time entry reporting. So you can see at any time during the day who's got their time in, who doesn't. There's a little bit on opportunities. There's also scheduling, real-time reporting, and invoicing as well. So that's how we would cover that real-time. We actually had a lot of our partners that said, if you just had this, I could get rid of BrightGauge and just use this one solution. So we created it. It's been over a year ago now, and it has been successful for those that need that real-time reporting for those items. Anything else right now?
I don't see any other questions.
All right. Well, we're right at the 45-minute mark. So everybody, thank you so much for joining today. I hope it was a great use of your time. Feel free to reach out to me if you have any additional questions, or if you're looking for reports that you didn't see today, want to ask me, hey, do you have this available? Feel free to email me that as well, and hope to get some of you signed up today to take advantage of that free onboarding. Hope to see you all again soon in an onboarding. That would be great. Talk to you soon. Thanks so much.
Thanks, everyone.